Yes, we'll go to share our cluster setup. We'll start with the cluster installation. This is my Active Directory, node 1, node 2. I will connect to any one node. First, I will check whether Windows cluster is working fine or not. Check here, right now I am in node 1. We can go to share failover cluster manager. See here, glue admin.msc. Okay. Yeah, this is like our Windows cluster name. WinSQL CL is the Windows cluster name. Domain name.com. Okay, right now here server 1 is active. Take here under roles we can see how many clustered instances are there. We can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 SQL cluster instances are there, but some are working, some are not working. Okay, okay, just I will remove to avoid confusion. Okay, 2 clustered instances are there here in my early Windows. On top of Windows cluster, we have 2 clustered instances, SQL cluster instances. In this here, 2 nodes are there. We can see here in the storage one disk is there which is acting as a quorum disk. Okay, quorum disk. And 2 other disks are there. Already these disks are used by these 2 instances. One important point we have to understand. See, in case of standalone installation, in D drive itself, we can install 2 instances, 3 instances, 5 instances. But here, for every instance, we need a separate drive. Okay, every instance should be installed in a separate drive. Okay, we can't install already here. See, in this instance, already like loans instance is there. One more we can't install in this drive. In this drive, already like passengers some instance is there. We can't install one more instance. That is the important point we have to understand. Okay, between like standalone and cluster installation. Okay, so Windows cluster is ready, server 1 is active mode. Check here down we have seen Windows cluster name and its shared disk is there, quorum disk is there. This is the Windows cluster IP. Okay, under roles already we can see how many clustered instances are there. Server 1 is the active mode. This is always on instance. Here in Windows cluster, 2 nodes are there. In storage, we can see one disk is there, which is used for quorum, which maintains cluster metadata. Here I am using one disk here of size 2 GB for quorum. Okay, these are our SQL instances. 2 SQL instances are there, which are there in separate disks here. Actually, remember all these are shared disks. Check here, if I go to this PC, this C is local drive, but here two server icons are there. Here. These are the shared disks. Shared disks actually, which are there in the storage. We have attached into node 1, node 2. After that, those are there in the Windows cluster. Okay, right now remember server 1 is active node, right? Server 1 is active node. That's why I can access these disks here from server 1. Okay, whereas if I go to server 2, which is passive mode, here remember we can't access this disk. If I go to this PC, check it, only local drive is a C drive. But once this becomes active mode, then we can access those disks. Okay, that's why only active node can access the shared disk in case of what? Windows cluster. If there is no Windows cluster, by default, both the nodes can access the shared disk. Okay, right. This is it. How we have checked the Windows cluster details we have verified. Okay, right now say like server 1 is active mode. Now in this server 1 we can run the setup. Okay, in this server 1 we can run the setup SQL Server to start cluster installation. Again, remember, we have to go to, once the installation is done in server 1 active node, then we have to go to node 2. This node we have to add into the cluster. Already here we are installing SQL cluster. Just we have to go to node 2. We have to add this into the SQL cluster. Actually, in 2005 version, what happened once we run setup in active node, it will continue installation in all the passive nodes also. But from SQL Server 2008 onwards, installation option is changed. Okay, first we have to install in active node. Again, we have to go to passive node, run the setup. Here we are not installing SQL cluster actually. Just we have to add this machine or node into SQL cluster. Just 3-4 steps are there. Okay, right.